My name is Lauren Hawes. I live in 63021. I want to comment on treatments for COVID. I spent 40 years as a pharmacist serving the public in my profession. I retired in 2020 because I saw some things that were not in line with helping people any longer. Early on, when we were locked down, I started hearing about hydroxychloroquine as a possible treatment for COVID. I began doing research. How does the drug work? Is it safe, effective? What side effects are there? I also began to see two different narratives. One was there were studies showing that HCQ, the abbreviated name, was working in early treatment for COVID. The other narrative was the suppression of these studies and boards of pharmacy across the country directing pharmacists to not fill prescriptions for HCQ. In my 40 years of being a pharmacist, I had never seen something like this. We have always filled prescriptions for off-label use for many different drugs. Then last summer, talk began of a vaccine, and in my mind, I began thinking, how could they have a vaccine so quickly? So again, I began to do research. My research led me to the development of a vaccine for coronavirus in 2003 for SARS-CoV-1. What I discovered was that they never made it to human trials because in the animal studies, all the animals died. Pretty scary stuff. It's something called antibody-dependent enhancement. This is particularly seen with mRNA vaccines that produce spike proteins, and basically when a person is challenged with the virus, the immune system goes into overdrive. Not good. Fast forward to December 2020, I began to hear about the drug Ivermectin, and how it was being used in other countries with great success, and I was very encouraged. It has been used by 4 billion people worldwide to treat parasitic and viral infections. It is also listed as an essential medicine with the World Health Organization with unparalleled safety profile. There are hundreds of critical care specialists around the world who have prescribed it now for COVID, regardless of vaccination status, with tremendous success if it is used in early treatment. As you know, science includes debate, but to claim there's no science to support the use of ivermectin for COVID is patently false. Yet the CDC NIH is telling doctors not to use it, and the AMA is threatening doctors for writing prescriptions for it, and pharmacy boards and organizations, along with corporate pharmacies, again, are telling pharmacists to not fill prescriptions for it. We don't have a pandemic of the unvaccinated. We have a pandemic of under-treatment, early treatment.
Yes.
Early treatment with both of these drugs saves lives. In northern India, 240 million people, they had 23 new cases a day at the end of August. But in America, we're 1/4 of India's population. We have hundreds of thousands of cases per day. This drug may also be used in prophylaxis, as in healthcare workers that are taking care of COVID patients. No need for a vaccine. Finally, I want to mention a drug that is being used in hospitals for treatment, remdesivir. I'm sure you are aware of it, Dr. Page, as it is the only CDC NIH treatment protocol allowed to be used in hospitals across the country. Remdesivir was used in trials during the Ebola outbreak. It was quickly discovered in the trials that people were developing kidney failure, pulmonary edema, and pneumonia, and were drowning to death. They scrapped using that drug. But here we are putting patient after patient on this drug in the hospital that end up requiring them to need a ventilator. And as you know, a high percentage of those patients die. My reason for bringing this up to the county council is, have you ever considered using the COVID relief money to get into every St. Louis County resident's hands ivermectin? It is a very inexpensive drug, pennies on the dollar, and would work as prophylaxis, and again as a safe and effective treatment. Now that would be novel. We would be saving lives. In wrapping up, do you know what is really sad? As a pharmacist, we also have a Hippocratic oath, and it goes like this. I promise to devote myself to a lifetime of service to others through the profession of pharmacy. In fulfilling this vow, I will consider the welfare of humanity and relief of suffering my primary concerns. I will apply my knowledge, experience, and skills to the best of my ability to ensure optimal outcomes for my patients. I will hold myself and my colleagues to the highest principles of the profession's moral, ethical, and legal conduct. I will embrace and advocate for changes that improve patient care. I take these vows voluntarily with the full realization of the responsibility which I am entrusted by the public. As a practicing pharmacist in St. Louis County, I can no longer ethically do my job without causing harm both in injecting a vaccine that is not only being proven to not be effective, hence the need for boosters, but also not safe based on the deaths and injuries reported in VAERS. I also believe it is unethical and immoral to not dispense life-saving medications that have been scientifically proven to save lives. One has to ask themselves, what is the truth? What is going on here? I plead with you to stop these vaccines, promoting these vaccines, and instead provide for the public health of St. Louis County without influence by big pharma organizations such as the CDC, NIH, and FDA. Let's put the people first and do the ethical thing. Unfortunately, I had to retire from my profession to do just that. Thank you.